Hello, movie lovers! Final Reckoning, Mission Impossible, final movie for Ethan Hunt, hit theaters this past weekend, so I'm here to rank them all. I've seen every Mission Impossible going all the way back to 1996. I've watched them pretty much when they've come out, and I have a lot of thoughts about them. But instead of breaking them down individually, I decided to rank all the Mission Impossible movies from worst to first. Where does the newest one fit in? You're going to find out right now. Let's get into it. In 8th place is Mission Impossible 2. Although this movie may be a lot of fun to watch, there's just no real substance to it. There are some great set pieces, and director John Woo does his best, but maybe Woo's style just doesn't work for Ethan Hunt adventures. The overuse of slow motion, the goofy action moments, the complete tonal shift from the first movie, there may be a few things to like about this one, but overall it feels so separate from the rest of the franchise. The best thing that came out of this movie was the MTV video Cruise did with Ben Stiller, so that tells you how well this movie holds up. Number 7. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This might be worth a second watch. Maybe. But my first impression was this was a complete mess. Nearly 3 hours is too long for any of these movies, especially one that's a part 2. The story became so convoluted, it was hard to make sense of what was happening. The script was a failure, the cast phoned in all of their performances, and the final stunt with the biplanes was good, but didn't feel unique or original. Maybe they leaned too hard into Top Gun. And an AI villain was still uninspired with an ending that felt forced. Nothing about this movie worked, but it still doesn't rank last because at least it was more coherent than MI2. Number 6. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. The penultimate entry into this franchise is a lackluster slugfest that betrays the heart of the series. They decided for this movie that artificial intelligence should be the villain. Why? Ethan always works best when going against an organization with a human being as the antagonist, someone he can play off in each scene. The Entity is such a lame counterpoint, and even the name Entity screams laziness. After such a successful outing with Fallout, this felt like a step in the wrong direction, especially when they got rid of a great character. It also ran 45 minutes too long for a story that was rather boring. The only reason this doesn't rank lower because it introduced some fun new characters and, started the end of everything. Number 5. Mission Impossible 3. Although this entry has been derided over the years and some may consider it the worst, there are a few things that keep it from falling to the bottom. Ethan gets to show some real emotion in this movie and finally build upon his character in this one. The tone settled back into something a little darker compared to MI2's campiness. But in reality, there is only one major reason why it ranks here at number 5, and that is Philip Seymour Hoffman. The man was an incredible actor and really gave us something to fear in this movie. He may be the best villain of the franchise, so how could I ever rank him lower? Number 4. Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, the 4th one. For years, this movie was everyone's favorite Mission Impossible because it set the bar so high. Brad Bird came in and directed the hell out of this story. He gave us some intense action scenes, hard-hitting drama, and sprinkled in some excellent intrigue. The movie brought in new characters that really expanded upon the lore of an already impressive world, and the Burj Khalifa stunt might be one of the most impressive feats in the history of movies. The biggest downfall here was bringing in Jeremy Renner for what seemed like Cruise's replacement, only to back down from that decision by the end because nobody wanted it. Number 3. Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. The start of the Christopher McQuarrie run. Cruise found a director in this movie that he loved working with, and you can tell. Cruise is having more fun in this movie, which better informs his character. The action scenes are done superbly well. Cruise nearly lost his life for our entertainment. And they introduced Rebecca Ferguson's Ilsa Faust, and Sean Harris as the villain Lane was terrifying. This felt like the franchise was back to what we all loved about the first movie all the way back in 1996. And speaking of the first movie, number 2, Mission Impossible. Where else could this classic go? This was the start of it all. This is where we fell in love with Ethan Hunt. The masks, the twists, the turns, the knock list, that heist scene. Jean Reno. This movie had everything going for it. Trying to spin a beloved television show into a movie is no easy task, but Brian De Palma and Tom Cruise did exactly that. It's possible that they made something even greater than the original. This movie used some well-known actors in interesting ways, which added to the element of surprise we all felt watching. We either wanted to be Ethan Hunt or wanted to be with Ethan Hunt. This movie regularly sits at the top or near the top of every list about spy movies from the 90s. And there's a reason for that. It 100% belongs there. And number 1, Mission Impossible Fallout. This movie was a roller coaster from start to finish. At the time of its release, this was the biggest Mission Impossible movie in every way. They amped the stakes up to places none of the others could have ever reached. McQuarrie and Cruise found their groove and showed exactly why this was the franchise every other spy series was chasing. And then to have Henry Cavill be a villain? Fantastic. We saw Ethan truly lose for the first time, and how he could bounce back from that. The only downfall was maybe the movie was a little too long, but who cares when you get to see Cavill and Cruise kicking ass side by side. And don't tell me you didn't try to cock your arms after watching this movie. Hell, I still do. But I'll never look as cool as Cavill doing it in the middle of a fight. If every Mission Impossible movie was the quality of this one, it would undoubtedly be the greatest series in the history of movies. Pure cinema. So that's my rankings for every Mission Impossible movie. Let me know your rankings in the comments, or if you think I got it right. Until next time, remember to be good to yourself, kind to others, and keep watching movies.